there supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that.
But what is the reason why you moved to Houston?
Well, look, first of all, like every time I've experienced Houston, like when I was out here, I ran into random acts of kindness. Like the people have been good to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the places that I'm like, man, or maybe Houston, like Houston or Miami popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
They said 58%. I said, what? You my partner? IRS is my partner now? Oh no, all you get is a Yankee hat? I'm going to Houston.
It looks like 50 Cent just shook the entire industry with his recent revelations. This isn't just typical rap beef, he's making serious claims that go deeper than anyone expected. At first, people thought it was just another ego clash, with 50 refusing to check in when he arrived in Houston, leaving J. Prince feeling disrespected. Same old street politics, right? But no, 50 Cent is now claiming there was a legitimate plan to harm him, and he's naming names. It gets even wilder because he's suggesting Supreme McGriff's own son might have been involved. And here's where it gets even more intense. Rick Ross might be tied into this too. Rumors say he's been getting close to some of 50 Cent's longtime enemies, adding fuel to the fire. Now, with 50 Cent exposing these behind-the-scenes connections, J. Prince's influence, Supreme's legacy, and all these questionable moves, it's starting to make sense why he suddenly left Houston. Was there a setup brewing behind the scenes? Let's break this down.
For me to start a new relationship with Houston, I'm excited about it. The opportunity, I had a lot of fun things for the kids. I think that they're really gonna get a chance to appreciate and enjoy it. And
it all started in Houston, J. Prince's territory. The man essentially controls the city like his own kingdom. When artists visit, they're expected to check in. Some call it respect, but to many, it feels more like pressure disguised as courtesy. And even those who do comply, sometimes still, end up in trouble. So, what's really going on?
There supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that.
Then came 50 Cent. When he decided to move to Houston permanently, J. Prince expected the usual protocol. But 50 Cent refused, making it clear he doesn't owe anyone anything. He has his own money and his own team, and isn't interested in playing by street politics he doesn't respect. To J. Prince, this was a major insult. This wasn't just a visit. 50 Cent fully relocated. He even tweeted, "I love New York, but I live in Houston now." People thought it was just about saving on taxes, and let's be honest, New York taxes are brutal, and 50 Cent loves his profits. But looking back, there was clearly more to his move.
Today, we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson.
He wasn't just chasing a tax break, he had major plans, a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio, alcohol branding deals, and even community initiatives like schools. He wasn't just moving, he was building an empire. Boss moves straight up. But here's where it got sticky. He did all this in J. Prince's backyard, no check-in, no respect, no blessings from the so-called gatekeepers. Just set up shop and kept moving. That kind of power move was bound to. Ruffle feathers and soon whispers spread. 50 Cent was facing behind-the-scenes pressure, doors were mysteriously closing, and people were waiting for him to fail.
You know I have the resilience to go against anybody. Like there's nobody that's doing that. Those are the guys that you would choose not to go against at that point. It's in the environment.
Rumors swirled that some crews were plotting, but 50 Cent didn't fold. He doubled down. To him, the check-in culture was just extortion with a smile, and he might have had a point. Takeoff checked in and still died. Jacob the jeweler got pressed. XXXTentacion laid low but still got caught up. So why pay for protection that doesn't protect? Cent saw through it. Fake security, all smoke and mirrors. Fear isn't in his DNA. But then, without warning, he left Houston. The film studio plan, scrapped. He shifted everything to Shreveport, Louisiana. No drama, no announcement, just a quiet exit that spoke volumes. Fans were left confused. What happened?
It's for you, man. You the only one in Miami with that, big.
You know to see what it is.
You know the vibes.
Yeah, see what it is. Yeah.
This was the same city that gave him a key to the streets. So why leave? The answer came later in one interview line. Houston didn't embrace me the way I expected. That said it all. The vibe had soured. He no longer felt safe. Here's the irony. While this unfolded, 50 Cent was still being honored. He was Grand Marshal of Houston's Thanksgiving parade. The mayor declared November 24th 50 Cent Day. But not everyone was celebrating. Insiders claim Jay Prince was furious. To him, 50 Cent had too much power, too much spotlight, and still no check-in. This wasn't about clout anymore. It was about control. And then, boom, Supreme McGriff's name surfaced. If you know 50 Cent's history, that's a serious red flag. Things were about to escalate.
This was the idea of my father, seeing that it was connections to Drake and Kanye, and that they were such iconic figures, and with them going through things.
50 Sears. Cent survived something. That would have ended most. 9 gunshot wounds. Many in the streets still believe Supreme's crew was involved. Why? Before the shooting, 50 dropped Ghetto Quran, a track where he named names and exposed street secrets about Queens legends, including Supreme. To the industry, it was just a gritty rap song, but to the streets, that was snitching. Supreme didn't take it lightly. Soon after, 50 got shot, but he lived. Worse for Supreme, 50 turned his near death into fuel, launching his career with that story. Meanwhile, Supreme got life in prison, yet never snitched. That silence earned him street respect. While Supreme sat behind bars, 50 monetized the madness in songs, interviews, and movies. Supreme never forgot. Then there's Irv Gotti, another key player. He wasn't just cool with Supreme, they were family. Irv funded Supreme's legal battles, proving loyalty. But 50? He took a wrecking ball to Murder Inc., crushing Ja Rule's empire and leaving Irv's camp in ruins. Even after Irv's death, from a stroke, 50 trolled him, posting a photo of himself smoking hookah next to a fake gravestone with the caption, "I'm smoking on that Gotti pack. God bless him, lol." McGriff Jr., Supreme's son, wasn't having it. He clapped back on Instagram. "If I said I was smoking on your mother and grandfather's pack, ninjas would call me wrong, right?" He called 50 a clown and vowed to match that energy. To McGriff Jr., disrespecting Irv, disrespecting Supreme, responded cryptically, posting snake-in-the-grass hints and subtle jabs. Then, things exploded, in allegedly leaked info suggesting Jay Prince's crew plus McGriff Jr. were plotting against him. Instead of hiding, 50 trolled harder, daring Jay Prince to confront him. Rick Ross entered the fray, suddenly linking up with Supreme's camp. To 50, that wasn't random. It was a chess move. Now, insiders whisper, this goes deeper. McGriff Jr. is done playing nice after 50's Irv Gotti trolling Jay. Prince isn't just mad, he's making an example of 50. If 50 ignores check-in culture and wins, it ends street politics as we know it. And let's be real, if anyone can shake the system, it's 50 Cent. So it's 50 Cent, but he better stay alert. Because when you start digging into Jay Prince's past, things get real serious. Real quick. Jay Prince isn't just a music mogul. He's a figure whose name has reportedly appeared in federal files dating all the way back to the late 1980s. Word is, he had strong connections to the streets and a tight grip on the underground scene. Allegedly, he was involved in major product distribution, with links stretching from Mexico deep into South Texas, Louisiana, and even Chicago. That's not just street-level hustle, that's international-level business. And Jay Prince was allegedly right at the center of it. Around that same time, there were rumors that he connected with Larry Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples. When that connection was made, it supposedly changed everything. A pipeline was believed to have opened up, running from Houston to the Midwest, and Jay Prince wasn't just involved, he was in charge. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Rap-A-Lot Records was born. On the surface, it looked like a label meant to uplift Houston's rap scene. But on the streets, whispers claimed it was more than just music, that it was a front, a clean cover for deeper operations. People speculated that Rap-A-Lot Records served as a way to legitimize and clean money coming from the streets. And the federal agencies? They weren't sleeping. By 1988, the DEA had reportedly launched a full-scale investigation into J. Prince and Rap-A-Lot Records. They were said to be tapping phones, tracking shipments, and flipping insiders. The case looked airtight, until it suddenly vanished. By the late 90s, the U.S. Attorney General quietly dropped everything. No charges, no headlines, just silence. And let's be real, something like that doesn't happen by accident. It suggests serious influence behind the scenes. Fast forward to today, and now 50 Cent might be stepping into territory that's been dangerous for decades. So here's the big question. Is 50 just being paranoid, or is he picking up on something real before it all goes down? Is there an actual setup unfolding behind the scenes, or are we just witnessing another chapter in the industry's wildest ego battle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think. And if this saga keeps evolving, and trust us, it will, you know we'll be right here breaking it all down. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share it with someone who needs to stay in the loop. Because this story, it's far from over.